The S&P 500 explained in 10 minutes. The S&P 500 has made more millionaires in America than any lottery, real estate deal, or business venture combined. And here's the thing. You can own a piece of all 500 of those companies with literally one click. Most people have no idea how powerful this actually is. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why Warren Buffett, Elon Musk, and every major financial advisor tells beginners to start here. Let's go. What exactly is the S&P 500? Think of the S&P 500 like a report card for America's biggest companies. It's an index, basically a basket containing exactly 500 of the largest publicly traded companies in the United States. We're talking Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Tesla, Nvidia, JP Morgan Chase. These aren't random companies. They're selected by financial experts at Standard & Poor's based on specific criteria: market cap, liquidity, and business stability. When people say the stock market, they usually mean the S&P 500. It's literally the scoreboard for the American economy. When the S&P 500 goes up, it means these 500 massive companies, which collectively employ millions of Americans, are becoming more valuable. When it goes down, the opposite happens. That's it. The index itself doesn't exist as a real thing you can buy. You can't walk into Fidelity and say, "Give me the S&P 500. But what you can do, and what we'll talk about next, is buy funds that track it perfectly. How do you actually invest in it? There are 3 main ways Americans invest in the S&P 500. And each one takes about 5 minutes to set up. First, index funds. These are mutual funds designed to mirror the S&P 500 exactly. You buy shares of the fund, and your money gets distributed across all 500 companies proportionally. The most popular one is VU, the Vanguard S&P 500 ETF. When you invest $5,000, you're essentially owning a tiny slice of 5,000 different pieces of Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, and 497 other giants. The expense ratio is 0.3% annually, which is basically nothing. Second, your 401k. If your employer offers a 401k, and most do, you've probably got the option to invest in an S&P 500 index fund within that account. This is tax-advantaged money, which means the government is literally helping you invest if your company matches contributions up to 6%. That's free money. Seriously. Free money. Third, Roth IRA. This is my personal favorite for beginners. Open one at Fidelity, Vanguard, or Schwab. You can contribute up to $7,000 per year. Then take that money and invest it directly into an S&P 500 index fund. Your money grows completely tax-free. Withdraw it in retirement. Pay 0 taxes. Game changer. Let me give you real numbers. If a 25-year-old invests $300 monthly into an S&P 500 fund for 40 years until retirement, they'd contribute $144,000 total. Based on historical returns of around 10% annually, that becomes over $2.1 million. The market did 95% of the work. Your contributions did 5%. That's compounding. Why the S&P 500 beats everything else. Here's what makes this actually insane. Most professional investors, people who manage billions of dollars, fail to beat the S&P 500 consistently. They try picking individual stocks. They try complicated strategies. They fail. Meanwhile, you can simply own all 500 companies, and you automatically beat 80% of professionals. The S&P 500 has returned an average of 10% annually over the last 50 years. That includes the 2008 financial crisis, the 2020 pandemic crash, every recession and bear market in modern history. It always comes back. It always goes higher. Compare that to savings accounts earning 0.5% or bonds earning 3%. The S&P 500 isn't just better. It's not even close. Here's the reality. Time is your only real advantage as a young person. You have decades. The market's going to crash multiple times before you retire. When it does, you don't sell. You actually buy more because everything's on sale. Warren Buffett got rich doing exactly this. He's not smarter than you. He just started early and never stopped. Your next move. Stop waiting. Open a Roth IRA this week. Invest your first $1,000 into VOO or a similar S&P 500 fund. Set up automatic monthly investments. Then forget about it. Don't check it daily. Don't panic when it drops. This is long-term wealth. 5-year views minimum. Better yet, 40-year views. This strategy has created more generational wealth than anything else available to regular Americans. It's boring. It's simple. It works. If this made sense, hit that subscribe button. We drop finance strategies like this every single week. Thanks for watching. Word count: 847 words.